The man was a good target. Tall, 6'5", wavy blonde hair that shined almost red in the filtered February sunlight. Ivory skin that refused to tan. Green eyes that danced to the beat of every melody that radiated from every tavern on every street corner in the always tawdry quarter. Even during a crowded lunch hour in the most congested part of New Orleans, you could spot him a block away, his head bobbing above the masses. On the eve of Fat Tuesday, the quarter was flush with tourists, and each of them was flush with anticipation of the debauched revelry that would only accelerate as the Monday before stretched into the Tuesday of, as almost here became Mardi Gras. The other man, the one with the gun, knew that in a crowd like this one he would have made a rotten target. He was 5'8", with his sneakers on. What hair remained on his head was on the dark side of brown. His creeping baldness didn't matter much to him, though, because the saint's cap he was wearing shielded his scalp from the sun as effectively as the distinctive steel-rimmed Ray-Bans shaded his eyes. The khakis and navy striped sweater he was wearing had been chosen because they comprised the de facto uniform of the day among the male revelers wandering to join the crowds on Bourbon Street. The late morning had turned mild, and the man's windbreaker was draped over his right hand and arm, totally disguising the barrel of his Ruger Mark II, as well as the additional length of the stubby suppressor. His left hand was shoved deep in the pocket of his khakis. He had been briefed on the tall man's destination in advance, and kept his distance as he followed him. At the intersection where Bienville crossed Royal, the man with a silenced .22 would begin to close the gap on the man without one. That would give the assassin a little over a block to get close enough to do his job. The tall, blond man had come from his office near City Hall. His wife had wanted to meet him downtown and accompany him to the restaurant, but he'd declined her offer. He'd made prior arrangements to stop on his way to their lunch date at an antique store on Royal to pick up a 19th-century cameo he knew his wife had been coveting. The cameo was a surprise for their anniversary. The errand on Royal hadn't taken the man long, though, and he was turning the corner from Bienville onto Bourbon 10 minutes before he was scheduled to rendezvous with his wife. With an athlete's grace and a large man's strides, he dodged slothful tourists with their to-go cup hurricanes and quickly covered the territory to the entrance of Galatoire's.